Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue the second stanza of the poem about the spring. So last time we have this, the days gets longer, the birds starts to howl, okay? And then what happened next? What are the other features of springtime? So here the poet start to talk about 夜来风雨声. 夜来, when the night comes, then you have wind and the rain sound. Okay, 风雨声. Oftentimes when it's raining, it's windy as well, at least in China. And that's not a hurricane season, but it often pair together, give the sense of, okay, the water in the universe is moving, is shifting place. The wind, the air is shifting place. And you have this things going on outside when you're safely ducked into your comfort of your home because it's nighttime, people are inside. And then, but they can hear the outside, the elements out in the nature doing their thing, making the sound. Okay. And then 花落知多少 as a consequence of the rain and the shower and the wind. Then the next day, you're going to see 花落知多少. Many, many flowers are going to fall. So here, another feature of the spring is the flowers. If last night you hear, then in the morning you see the 花 flowers get fallen down, and 知多少 is Chinese way to say how many that you know. Basically, it's you don't know how many. It's countless head counts of the flowers. That's you're going to see the next day. So this gets a little bit tonal change. If the first stanza talks about the day gets longer, the birds start to chirp, right, or howl, you have this lively activity. Things are getting more active in the springtime. Now the elements get stronger presence as well. You have the rain and the wind to act outside your house, and then they destroy these flowers. So it's a little bit of tonal change, but it is kind of faithful description of what mostly happen in the springtime scene because flowers, they're precious. They don't get to bloom much long. And especially when the rain shower came over, they fell before they got a chance to get pollinized and get to fruit. So that's almost like relatable to humans as well, right? Okay. One by one, 夜来夜. We have this human figure, and then we have the originally two dots next to the human figure. So you can look at that as if it's the starfish pose of a human, right? We have all our limbs sticking out. And then there's two strokes, originally two strokes, symmetrically showing there is two armpits right there. Okay. So I feel it's funny, like a Chinese, even in our character, capturing armpits of ourselves. And then we have the moon here, the crescent shape, replaced this other armpit indicator. So we have the moon under your armpit, and that's Chinese way to describe the night. So this armpit thing, actually in Chinese, is a connecting of meaning or logic. So when we say something, and also, okay, we bring another thing. So you have this linking message. So you have one armpit and also the other one. So you get to hear two sides of the story. So this linkage of the moon means throughout the night. So Chinese gave the sense of the night not only the main feature of the night, the main character is the moon, right? And then it gives you the sense of continuation. So you have the, before midnight and after midnight, something like that. Okay. 来, how to express come. Chinese express it in a temporal sense. by what's coming from agrarian society's point of view, which is they plant the seed, they see the crop growing. So this crop is rooted. This is the root of the crop, and this is a stalk, right? And then this crop is draping, it's getting heavier with the seed, which are grains, mostly edible, right? It should be edible to humans. So this farmer's hard work, finally we see things are growing in there. And then the logical expectation is we're going to see harvest, a good year coming. So these, I guess, farming society based what's most expected, most exciting to a farming society is to see the fruition of their hard labor, which is incoming harvest. And this is drawing out a crop coming on their way, getting heavier over there. That's like feng. Okay, feng is invisible. So how are we going to see the existence of wind? By the destruction they made, right? That's one way. Or see something flying out there. So Chinese have to come up with a way to express the wind is out there. Okay, without complicating things, they actually choose to express wind with concurring things, which is when the wind picks up. Well, I guess this relates to the climate environment of China's geography. During the springtime, the wind is going to pick up. So when the wind pick up, the concurrence of that is the worms. This is the worm, squiggly thing. It's Chinese worm depiction. It's going to popping out of their underground hideout place. So apparently, I guess worms stay over winter or get embedded into somewhere, invisible to us, so that they are safe to stay over winter in that pot thing. And this is the pot popping. This one horizontal line is something, the seed supposedly, or the germs of the worm that's hidden inside this wrapping thing. And now it has an opening, it popped open. And the moment when worms come out, that's when the wind starts to pick up. So Chinese use, I guess, concurrent events to use one to indicate the other. Okay, 雨 simply heaven, top frame horizontal line, going downward, right? Vertical line is this connection between heaven and supposedly on the ground, the earth. And then the big space, big arch is this big space sense, raindrops. So when we repeat some same element 4 times, that means ton of magnitudes of orders up, means many of them. Okay, so that's a draw out of the brain. It's a connection between the heaven and the ground. Okay, sheng, we have the ear symbol over there. Okay, that's the receptor of the sound, right? And then we have the production, the consumption and production of the sound. Production is a little more complicated. We have 3-finger hand symbol holding a drumstick or a whip or something to knock on things. And this kind of a binocular looking thing standing connected on the top frame of this shape. That means it's above ground, it's detached from the ground, and the 2 hollows over there, that's the sound chamber. So according to scholars, this is a type of instrument that hung up in the air for your hand holding some drumstick like thing to hit on to make music. Of course, they came in different pitches, right? And then we have the plant symbol, trident looking thing above the ground. That means stand up straight. So this instrument need to stand up straight for you to knock on. So the whole thing is music making scene, sound production, and you have the sound consumption device, the ear. The whole system was depicted as human-made sound for humans to hear. Okay, that's 声. Then 花落知多少. Okay, first, let's start here. 多少 is a Chinese way to say how many. We actually to use more, less, pair them together as a question mark of we don't know, is it more or less than our expectation? So more or less is a Chinese way to say how many, right? How interesting, because in English we say how many. Many is the expectation, but how is it above or below? We don't know, right? So we put a how there as a variable in terms of the manyness, okay? But in Chinese, we say more or less than our this many expectation. Okay, 多 we use double moon, okay? The same moon symbol as we see under the armpit. Double moon means multitudes of nights, basically. And that's how Chinese to say you something you put in so much effort is many moons later that you're going to see something. So that's 多. 少, we have this cutting vertical line means separating two things apart. That's Chinese way to say smaller than. It's cutting something in half. When you halved something, that thing, this new thing, is going to be half of the original, right? So you make it smaller. It's guaranteed. It's smaller than before. And then this stroke kind of, this thing is stylized. Basically, in contemporary Chinese, it's just one stroke from top right corner to the bottom left. So it's you right diagonal. So Chinese do have a way to write diagonal things this way or this way. It's always from top down. Well, we have bottom up stroke as well, but it starts from the top somewhere because the way our wrist working, right? So when you write something with this inked pen, it's going to be you touch the paper first, and then it's easy to draw down first. And then if you want to go up, you go this way. Okay, it comes with handwriting, how easy it is. So we don't draw here, there. We always draw from the top toward the left. Okay, so this stroke means getting there. It means on the way to there. So it's on the way to be halved. It means it's getting smaller. And that's how Chinese to express less than something, or you're getting to be less. More or less together, how many? Okay. And 知多少 is, do you know how many? And it's rhetoric question. It's like, we don't really know how many the flowers are fallen out there overnight by the rain and the wind. Okay, this no concept is arrow shooting out. So this is the arrow, right? And this is a bow, a zoom in view of the where the arrow used to sit. So arrow shoot out. Arrow is ancient times the fastest thing humans devise as a projectile through the air. And that means a speed. Arrow means speed. And then we have the mouth symbol, means speaking. Speed speaking is the way to tell if you know something or not. If you know it, you probably can talk about it frequently and quickly. Okay, 花 double plan symbol. You see double plan symbol, reoccurring theme, right? So this is, I call it a plant-based icon. Then we have double layers of petals. So this and the rain, like 4 raindrops, is repeating the same visual element 4 times. That's lots, according to Chinese standard. Like this 多, this more. We just use 2, double moon. That's enough to mean multitudes of something. And you have 4 of these stacking up. That really gives you the sense of it's heavily repeated. And probably the smaller stuff. It's not like moon, right? Moon is a huge thing in the sky. in relative to other things, but petals, they're smaller, or the raindrops, they're smaller. Okay, double of that. And then you have the pollen pool in there. So it gives you a zoom up view of how the structure, the main features of the flower. And then at the bottom, pronounced as a qui, it depicts how humans, we project our sound into space. So those two horizontal lines is the top serves double purpose. One is as the base of the pollen pool, right? And the second serves as the second frame with the rest of the imagery at the bottom half of this character serves the top of the frame, heaven, second is earth. Between heaven and earth, and the earth appear bigger than heaven, right? But the truth is reversed. Okay, then you have this waft of air. Chinese have to draw out aerial thing in a non-linear way. So we kind of draw out this way. That means this air from the first person perspective is from you going out, this air that you are uttering your sound, your voice into the space between heaven and earth. So that's a Chinese way to depict speaking. Have this relative sense of where you're speaking, who you're speaking to, not actually to another human being, not interpersonal communication. It's environmental, like you are speaking to heaven and earth. It's a very grand speaking. Okay, so this speaking out to the world, I guess, a shout out to the world, plus the pollen petals and the plant-based together create the imagery of the language of flower, or the speaking, or the voice of the flower, the voice of the plant, so to speak. Okay, the flowering is like a language for the plant to say, I'm ready to pass my seed down. Okay, somebody come pollinize, right? So that's a flower's language. And that's they're putting out the message to the world. Broadcasting, okay, just like what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking to heaven and earth. Okay, what flower? I find the whole thing is very poetic. I have a whole episode talk about that, and I'm not tired of talking about it. Look, okay, plant-based again, and then we have water sign on the left side. We have gu, which is the sound marker, but it serves as meaning as well. The gu, made of the mouse symbol, same as this, recurring theme, and then backward walking. So last episode we talked about chu, which is backward walking to a stool that belonged to you. Okay, this backward walking, the ancient times shoes, two deck, right? And then pointing backwards means you are not following the speaking represent the order. Whoever gives you order what to do, where to go, you're walking backwards to that. You're disobeying. And this disobeying imagery together created. You have your own thinking, your own thought, your own decision making. You're not following orders of somebody else. And you have your individuality in there. Okay, so that's together create an image of individual and actually separating the ways because you're walking backwards. So backwards walking, water, plant symbol, together create an imagery of separation. It's related to flowers falling, and the flowers falling onto water carry their petals away from the original tree they're from. Okay, it's quite a poetic image as well. 花落知多少 together means how many flowers we will know after the whole night of shower out there. Okay, so this is a Gemini created imagery. I guess this is closest I can find or generated to give it a sense of the flower petals fallen after, on the wet ground which obviously just after the rain, and then it's countless. You cannot really count. So, what kind of emotions you can draw from this imagery is is the nature is speaking, is let out their voices to the universe. And then the rain take them down. It's part of the life cycle. It's almost like the flowers got defeated to the ground. But another way to see it is almost like a triumph as well, because the flowers carried out their mission of blooming. And during that short time window, they may get pollinized, but not guaranteed, right? So that gives you the sense of this ephemeral life represented on the flower. 夜来风雨声，花落知多少. Thank you for your time. See you next time.